Found it. I don't think there's any argument how important water is when you're exploring. Camping, overlanding, jeeping, whatever it is, rock crawling. I think water is the number one thing you always carry with you. And over the years, I've tried many products. I've tried carrying big water bottles, and they go everywhere and create a mess, and they're a waste, honestly. I've tried cheaper containers, and they work. They're awesome. This one's made in USA, but they're a pain to get out of the rig when you need to use it, especially if you've been going for multiple days. And then they take up a lot of space. You have to stack a lot of them. I've tried filtering containers like this. Very limited water supply. They do their job. They do their job well. They keep you safe. I love the filtering aspect. But the amount of water you get out of them, slow, kind of cumbersome. You have to pump it. I don't know. Things like that. I even have brought along a rinse kit before, just to help add extra water. You see, more recently, we've been using this 40-liter Ironman 4x4 tank. It's been pretty awesome. It comes out to about 10 gallons, something like that. And that is a lot of water for Helen and I to bounce around in the desert. We like it because we can just fill it up, use it. We don't have to pump, don't have to do anything. We just use gravity feed with the optional accessory hose. And while we like it, there's still a problem with it. Our dog likes to be back here, and so the shape is good, but if you want to use space back here, it's not the most space efficient shape. So we're going to change this out with something else. But the other thing is this hose kit. It's huge. It's like over 1/2 inch diameter hose. You don't need that much water flow when you're camping. I mean, you're filling water bottles and you're washing dishes off and you're trying to conserve water. And when you open this, a lot of water flows out, which is nice, but then you have the issue of bringing up your bottle or your dishes, and now you're trying to fumble around with this valve while you're filling your cup or doing your thing. It's too cumbersome. So what we're gonna do in this video, we're gonna remove this. We're gonna put a different tank in that I think is gonna be nicer. It actually holds a little bit more water. And we're also gonna fix the fumbling around with hand. We're gonna give ourselves a third hand, essentially, for water. So let's see what we can accomplish here. To fix our first problem of not having a third appendage, we're going to use this. This is a dometic water faucet. Now, it's rechargeable, it's battery powered. I want to go this route because I think this is better than using hardwired pumps and stuff in the vehicle. That way I can move the tank around, and I can use this on other tanks if I want. Plus simple operation. We'll go into details more, but I think this is going to be the way to go. The other thing we're going to do is this tank. The shape of this, I think, is more conducive. I think it's going to take up, well, not take up less space, but I think it's going to take up more unused space. And also, it actually gives us a bit more capacity. I think this is something like 13 gallons. So we get a few more gallons of water, which is nice. To make this work, we're going to have to do some adapting here. Now, from my local hardware store, this is the route I had to go. I went from 1/2 inch MIP to 1/4 inch FIP, and then I'm doing a 1/4 inch bar adapter. So essentially this is what I'm doing. It doesn't really matter how you get here, just go from 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch, something like that. The next part of this is this tubing. Now this is a little bit special. One, it's silicone. Super flexible. Silicone is a bit better than the normal hard line that you use for like the water in the back of your fridge. That stuff kind of sucks because it'll stay cold and has memory. This has no memory, so you can wind it around things and kind of move it around inside the vehicle, which will be important for us. I'll show you why in a minute. And it won't, well, it resists kinking, and it's better tubing all the way around. Also, this stuff is 5mm on the ID, which is about 3/16, which is, the dometic is metric. But we're going to use this stuff, and it'll become really apparent why we don't want that like ice maker line, which is just horrendous to deal with because you'll never get it to stop having a memory. All right, now what I'd hope for this tank is that the back of the foreigner seats, they have an angle to them. I was hoping that the angle on this tank would match to a point so that we take up a lot less space back here and kind of use some of that to our advantage. It appears to be the case. I kind of like that because it's like a solid wall here. Gives more room for the dog to lay this away instead of a whole square in this corner. I kind of like that. And now we have extra tubing. Now you got a better picture of what I'm talking about. See, that tank is flush against the seat and there's not a big square sitting over here. And actually, if you didn't have this platform and that tank was further down, it'd tuck even more up under the seats because of the angle. Or if you have a pickup truck or something, that is pretty awesome behind seats that have a slant in the back, if you catch what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, so let's add some water to it and hook up the dometic. I'll show you kind of my idea and we'll try to figure out a game plan. What, you guys weren't expecting to fill this thing up on the inside of the house and carry it out here, were you? That was not gonna happen. I'll have to change the mounting straps for that in the future. But now we take our hose here and hook up the dometic. All right, fountain itself, or the faucet. That's it. Completely battery powered, 2 touches, on, off. That is super nice. So now you can set this up here. Do what you need to do. Off. I like that. It does come with a piece of hose. I don't have it in here because I took the kit apart to go to their other tank thing. Doesn't matter. We're not going to use it. It comes with some documentation, a little carrying bag, like you're actually ever going to use that. And then these base plates, because this thing is magnetic. So the idea is to put one of these plates somewhere in the vehicle, and then we can just pop it there, and then it won't come undone, hopefully. And you get a little charger. So let's hook this hose up, and then we'll turn the water on and see how it works. Alright, water valve is on. Let's see what we got here. There we go. Get the air out. So this is what I came up with. I don't know if this will be its permanent location, but the fact that it has magnets to mount means it's very easy to move. So we have it right here. That way when we're traveling down the road, we just open up the rear hatch if we want more water, like in our bottles or something. 2 touches. 1 touch ends it. That's nice. But then if we're back at camp and we want bigger things, pots or whatever, just move this here. And now we can get water off the back bumper. Right, and that's where like the silicone tubing and stuff is advantageous because you can move the stuff around with no memory and it doesn't kink and stuff as easily, so it makes it nice. Another thing to note, Dometic was really smart when they made this feature. So 2 taps turns it on, right? 1 tap turns it off, but it only pumps for 1 liter of water. Now, that's important because if it's inside your vehicle and this accidentally gets turned on somehow, it's going to suck that it pumps a liter, but it's only 1 liter. It's going to turn off and not pump again. The other thing is if you have young little kids, right, and you have this out here, and a little kid comes by and turns it on, and they wash their hands under it or grab some water and then run away, well, at least it only wastes a maximum a liter of water, instead of burning through whatever your entire tank is. That way you're not wasting water, and it's a bit of a safety mechanism, and I like that. It's nothing to sit here and run it for a liter of water, and then when it turns off, just tap it again. That's nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. So, neat little thing. If I remember correct on the literature, I think it's rated for like 30 gallons or something per charge. So that tank being 14 gallons or whatever, we'd be able to take 2 trips on it. So if you just charge it once, you should be good for an entire trip. If you're going on an extended trip, it takes about an hour to charge. I tested that. That's pretty neat. I don't know. I like how simplistic it moves around. Super easy. And we really could, you really could put a valve on this and disconnect it every time if you wanted to, but who wants to do that? Yeah. So, I think we're really going to like this tank. I love that we have a faucet. It's hands-free. You can do whatever you want under it. Wash your hands, grab water, fill up pots for cooking, move it out. I like that feature of it. I think it's going to be handy. I might have to modify how it mounts, but I think the concept is there. And the fact that you can really hook it to any tank, because it basically takes a 1/4-inch piece of tubing, is pretty nice, and it's pretty conservative on water, I think, versus that big 1/2-inch piece of tubing we had come out of the other tank. I will convert the other tank as well to use this for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe I throw that one in the Jeep one time to go camping by myself or whatever. I wonder if you could hook it to the... What if you could hook it to the LifeProof? How strong do you think that pump is? Think you could pump through the filter of the LifeProof tank? We may have to test that. Anyway, so I think this is going to be better. Our dog's going to have more room this way. That's the way he likes to lay when we're driving down the road anyway. I think it just makes more sense to have that tank. Plus, it has more water. Yeah, plus it has more water. So that's our water setup in this rig so far. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the Ironman products and this little guy. This guy is super, super cool. You can basically hook it to any tank you want. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And, well, we'll see you in the next video. Come on, Tucker. Let's go load up. Good boy. Hey. Tucker, let's go.